Hello friends, welcome to the series of our channel. Welcome to Merchant of Venice. We were doing with Act 1 Scene 1. Yes, in the last class we did till line number 81. In this class we'll be doing from line number 82. Yes friends, hope you like my videos. If you do like my videos, then please like and share with your friends and do press the bell icon button. Friends, if you have any queries, you can drop it in the comment section, and you can also give your feedback so that it will be an encouragement for me. Thank you friends. So let's proceed with the text in line number 82. Coming to line number 82, Gratiano's speech. Yes, now what Gratiano is saying? Gratiano says that, "Let me play the fool with mirth and laughter. Let all wrinkles come then, and let my liver rather heat with wine than my heart cool with mortifying groans." So here Gratiano means to say that if Antonio's part is to play, if Antonio has chosen to play a tragic part, then let me play a comic role with enjoyment and laughter. Let wrinkles appear on my face, and let my liver be enriched with wine, which would produce rich blood and thus a lively personality. So Gratiano means to say that if Antonio's role is to play a role of a sad person, then let me play a character of a comic person or a comic character, because it will show in my personality. I will be rich in blood, and that will appear in my lively personality. Here again a reference has been given to the Elizabethan period. Now the Elizabethans believed that wine drinking warmed the liver. It was believed then that there were 4 types of people. What were they? They were choleric, phlegmatic, sanguine and melancholic. These 4 types of people were physiologically determined by the digestion of food in the liver. So it was believed in the Elizabethan period that wine drinking, the amount of wine that you drink divides people into the four categories. These four categories were choleric, melancholic, sanguine and phlegmatic. So the amount of wine you intake divides the people into 4 different categories. That also determines the digestion of food in your liver. This was believed in the Elizabethan period. So a reference has been given by Gratiano. Now he further says that, "Then me sighing and groaning, which would take my blood from the heart. Then he is saying that I should be a lively personality, I should be cheerful. Why should I be melancholy like you, or why should I be saddened like you? So I will be rich in my blood and not sad, or not a cold-hearted person or a cold-blooded person." So this is what is said by Gratiano. Coming to Gratiano, further what he adds, he says that, "Why should a man whose blood is warm within sit like his grandsire, Kurt in alabaster?" He further says, He further says that a young man like you, and he is referring to his friend Antonio, that you are a young man, and a young man like you, why should you be sitting like a statue, like that of my grandfather? Means his grandfather. He is saying that his grandfather is dead and he is in statues now. Now the statue will not come and work or will be active in any work. So you should be instead, you are a lively person, you are living and you are young also. So you are hot-blooded and you should be active and cheerful and energetic in all the activities you should be involved. So this is, you should not be cold-blooded, but you should be warm-blooded. This is what is said by Gratiano here. Here you can see a grandsire cut in alabaster. Grandsire means his grandfather, that is Gratiano's grandfather, and alabaster means the white marble or the white stone with which the statue is made. Not the statue will not come and work. So he is referring to his friend Antonio that why are you acting like a statue, but you should be lively and cheerful. Now I'll explain this to you further. Now he says, "Why should a man whose blood is warm within sit as still as a carved statue of his grandfather, be motionless during the working hours as if he were asleep, and gradually work himself to be in a jaundiced state by being irritable?" Now further he says, Graciano further says here, I tell thee what, Antonio, I love thee, and it is my love that speaks. There are a sort of men whose visages do gleam in. Now here further he says, sleep when he wakes and creep into jaundice. Now again by being peevish. Now again here a reference is being made. So this was the explanation till here. Now coming further, here a reference is made to a disease named jaundice, and is given that it turns the skin yellow. Elizabethans thought the jaundice was caused because of jealousy and bad temper. Means a person suffering from bad temper, or you can say jealousy, was supposed to be suffering with jaundice, because his or her skin turned yellow. So this was believed during the Elizabethan period. This jaundice is caused due to jealousy and bad temper. So he is saying that people become jaundiced. People become jaundiced because they are, means why you are behaving like a jaundiced person, why your skin is turning yellow. So you should be, because you are not jealous of anyone, and you also don't have a bad temper. So be lively and be cheerful. All the time we see that Graciano is talking on and on and on, and sometimes he talks nonsense and sometimes he talks of worth. So this is what we see. So he is giving advice to his friend Antonio. Now further we proceed with his speech. I love you, and I am saying this out of love for you. There are a kind of men. Now further we proceed with Graciano's speech. He says that there are a sort of men whose visages do cream and mantle like a standing pool. Now what he means to say, what Graciano means to say, he says that there are a kind of men whose faces stand still like the scum that forms on the surface of still water in a pond, or you can say in a pool or a pond. Yes, or like white cream on the top of a mill, like the cream forms on the top of mill. So there are a kind of people who are inside something and outside they show something. So from outside they show that how serious they are. From inside they are something else, and outside they show that how serious they are. So that is like a cream over the milk, or the scum over the standing pool or pond, and deliberately put on an air of solemnity with an intention of creating. Now he further says, means he is describing about the kind of people, about a kind of people who show that how serious they are from outside, and when they open their mouth, you find that they are fools. Now coming further, and do a willful stillness, entertain with purpose to be dressed in an opinion of wisdom, gravity, profound conceit. Now he further says that put on an air, means these kind of people put on an air of solemnity with an intention of creating, means they disguise themselves. Means outward they are showing something and inside they are something else. A reputation of wisdom, means they are disguising themselves as how wise they are, how solemn they are, and deep thought, as if he were to say, I speak with the authority of Greek oracle, and when I open my mouth, not a sound other than mine is heard. Now here again a reference is being made. With purpose to be dressed in an opinion of wisdom. Now here coming to line number 96. I am Sir Oracle, and when I open my lips, let no dog bark. He's saying that these kind of people, they think themselves that when they are talking, all the others will keep silence, will not talk. Only when these kind of people, when they talk, only their voice is heard, and all the others keep silent. Means they mean to say that. Means these kind of people, they mean to say that when they talk, others keep silent. But actually, what is their real look, or what is their real face? We'll come to that. So here we see a reference is made. Here a reference to oracle, the Greek orator, is made. He was believed to be the voice of gods, uttered through the mouth of priest. Now here Greek orator means Greek orator was a person. He was the priest of a church, And when the priest of a church speaks, means he is speaking the words of God. And when he speaks, all the others present in the church keep silence and only listen to the orator who is supposed to be speaking the words of God. So this is what is said. These kind of people, they think themselves to be the Greek orators. Means when they are talking, all the others will keep silent because they speak like, or they pretend themselves to be like Greek orators. Now coming next. Oh my Antonio, I do know of these that therefore only are reputed wise. For saying nothing, when I am very sure if they should speak, would almost damn those ears, which hearing them would call their brothers fools. Now here he is saying, oh Antonio, I know these people who have a reputation for being wise only because they do not say anything. Means these kind of people, until and unless they open their mouth, they are found to be wise. And when they open their mouth, you will find them uttering nonsense. Now coming next, they do not say anything, and I am sure if they were to speak, their listeners would call them fools. And for saying this, so when they will open their mouth, you will find them that they are talking foolish, they are talking nonsense. And for saying this, this would be damned. So they would be damned, or they would be ridiculed by the society or by their listeners. Here again a reference is made in the Bible, whosoever says to his brother, you fool, shall be in danger of hellfire. Now if you call that person a fool, during that period of time, it was believed that if someone is talking nonsense or someone is talking foolish, if you call that person a fool, then you will be fired, or you will be after your death you will get hell, which is and you will be fired there. Means it is believed that you will be in danger of hellfire. So no one, so even if you know that that person is talking foolish or nonsense, still you will not say that he is talking fool, because it was believed in the Bible that you should not call a person a fool, or you should not blame a person for talking nonsense. So this is a reference given here. Now coming next, I will tell thee more on this another time. So this Graciano is saying that I'll talk on this matter some another time. Means he is going on and on and on, talking on and on, but I'm still saying that still I'll continue with this topic sometimes later. Now coming next, he says further, but fish not with this melancholy bait, for this fool Gudgeon is this opinion. Come good Lorenzo, fare you well, while I will end my extortion after dinner. Graciano further says that I will tell you more about this another time, but don't use this bait of melancholy silence in order to catch such a cheap fish like popularity. Here he means to say that Antonio should not keep this saddened mood or this melancholy mood or nature to gain attention of his friends or people around him, just like a bait is given to the fish. So Graciano means to say that this Antonio should not keep this saddened mood because he is catching the attention of his friends, gathering the attention of his people around him. So just like we give bait to a fish to be caught in the net, so he is keeping the saddened mood to gather the attention of his friend. So Antonio should not do that. Instead, now further he says that come Lorenzo, means he is telling his friend Lorenzo. So let's move to our work, and goodbye. I will end my good advice after dinner. So he is saying that I'm ending my advices to you here, and I'll talk to you later after the dinner time. So this is what is said by Graciano in line number 82 to 107. Okay, friends. Friends, if you have any queries, please drop it in the comment section and do give your feedback. So that it will be an encouragement for me. Thank you.